Hi, Jeannine Groll here, back to share my passion of nutrition and fitness and incorporating them into a healthy lifestyle for health and happiness. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about nutrition hacks to simplify your life. I love hacks. They kind of like take out some of the hard part of a healthier lifestyle and, hopefully getting into different habits so that you don't have to think about it too much. We have so many decisions we have to make every day. So if we can hack into it and try to take away some of these decisions so that this becomes just your everyday habits or incorporate it into your everyday lifestyle, then it goes away from being a diet and more into just this is what we do, right? So I'm excited to share with you these nutrition hacks that I've kind of thought of as I wanted to share some things with you that have really helped me in my life. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about fiber. Fiber is so important. And sometimes we need some supplementation with this. Sometimes we're okay. Sometimes we can just get it through food. But fiber helps with the digestion and helps prevent constipation and lowers cholesterol levels and helps with weight loss. Also helps you feel fuller. So if you have a meal that's full of fiber, then and you drink enough water, that's another big one with it because you need to drink the fluid. The fibers can absorb. There's different types of fiber. There's soluble fibers and insoluble fibers. Insoluble fibers kind of like help. It's like the roughage, like in celery, that kind of help move things through. Where soluble fibers is kind of that fiber that's in oatmeal that kind of absorbs, that kind of helps absorb that and clear out the cholesterol in the system. So most Americans actually don't get, they might get like 11, 12 grams of fiber a day, but women typically need about 25 grams and men need about 38 because they need more calories, right? So do you think we get that many? It depends on what your diet's made up of. If you have a lot of fruits and vegetables and some of those whole grains and stuff and nuts, then you probably get plenty of fiber. If not, then that might be something that you can start just hacking your diet with, and we'll give you some different ideas for that. So some good fiber sources include that oatmeal, beans. Beans are a great one, legumes, your whole grains, nuts. Nuts always kind of clear me out for sure. I know they've got some good fiber and most fruits and vegetables. So if you're following that plate method and half of the plate is your fruits and vegetables with the majority of vegetables, and you're getting 4 or 5 a day, then you're probably getting some good fiber in. So fiber, super important. All right, let's talk about your nutrition and drinking your nutrition and drinking more water, right? So water is so important for your body. I mean, that's a whole topic in itself, just water. But a lot of times when I'm drinking water, I don't just love the straight flavor of water. I wish I did. Sometimes I'll put in lemon and that makes it a little bit easier for me, but I like to put in and drink my nutrition so that if I'm drinking water, I'm getting more than just water. I'm getting nutrients that my body needs. So some things that I find really that I've loved and used for years. This one, like if you're drinking your greens and your reds, this one is called Zan Sense. I don't know if you can see that, but it's by a company called Common Sense, and this one I've used forever. It's a really powerful antioxidant, and it has the mangosteen and bilberry and all kinds of superfoods in it. So it's a superfood. It helps me, like especially not get sick, boost my immune system, and reduce inflammation in my body, and also helps with my allergies. So I don't usually get allergies. The other one that I really like is these greens. I love the greens. I've kind of showed these greens a couple times, but I love the greens. And I love them to taste good. So these ones that I found, the active greens, help with gut health, which is such an issue these days. So the gut health part with the probiotic and prebiotic that fiber can help with too, but also these pre and probiotics. And it helps with the heart health because it produces some little nitric oxide, opening up those blood vessels, and provides a lot of vitamins and minerals. So that's another one that I like to drink, these little green tea packets. They're called calorie boosters or calorie burners, because they help. Green tea is a natural like metabolic booster. So I might drink 1 or 2 a day. Another one that I like to drink when we talk about fruits and vegetables, get those in the screen here, are these rubies. I love rubies because they make for great little smoothies without all the calories. And if I do a different color each, there's 4 different kind of varieties, reds, oranges, greens, and purples they have a lot of different fruits and vegetables. And by the end of the week, I have 26 different fruits and vegetables in, which is hard for me to get naturally because I'd have to shop a lot and make sure I'm making all those smoothies, and that can get really pricey along with time consuming. So those rubies actually help me get the whole fruits and vegetables without preservatives. So think about drinking to maximize your nutrition and add that to your water. So let's talk a little bit about another biohack. So I had a client that really struggled. She would tell me, I would eat a whole meal before I actually sat down to eat. So if this is you, if you find that you're like a snacker while you're preparing your meals, which I actually am, then chewing gum is really helpful. She would also just put on her little teeth whitening strips, and that was really helpful for her. But chewing gum helps you so that maybe you can eat less of as you're prepping, or just prevent you from prepping, and it helps manage cravings and sugar. I actually have a gum that I got from doTERRA that's actually a craving controller. And so that one is really helpful. Another good biohack, clean out your cupboards. This is my favorite saying, out of house, out of mouth. If you want a treat, make sure you have to go buy it, and then you can just buy like a little, portion of it. I like to go buy my treats over at Nums because they have the sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, but not taste-free, right? They're sweetened with the monk fruit. So I have to go out of the house to buy that, and I don't have to bake. I usually don't bake, so it's not in my house. But if you can clean out your cupboards, reduce your temptation by purging the cupboards from all these fattening foods, and then you need to put something back in. So you need to put in foods that are really helpful, that are going to be really convenient for you to grab. And so when you're which brings us kind of our meal prepping one, this meal prep, so have healthy foods on hand and ready to go at a minute. And so it's helpful, like usually on Saturdays, Sundays, I will make a list of the meals for the week, go grocery shopping on like a Saturday, make sure it's all prepped and ready to go, so that during the week when it's super busy and I get home and I'm tired and I don't want to think about what am I going to have for dinner, it's already ready to go. And you can put them in little containers. You can just have all the stuff ready to go, and have that efficient, have it effectively right there in the fridge, so you can just go to it right away when you're tired and you don't have to think about it. Next one, when you're going out, here's another great little hack. Just some of you already do this, is order the children's portions. One thing, like over by where we work in Logan, they have like Rumby's Grill, and they'll let me go over and just get a little kids bowl, and I just usually ask without the rice, or if I do rice, I have the brown rice, and just have like the all vegetables with the chicken on top. So it's their little Hawaiian bowl, and just do the kids portion, which is about perfect. It fills me up, gives me nutrition, and it doesn't give me like 1,000 calories. So you can do that. Another thing you can do is just get a smaller plate. And we talked about 9-inch plates before, just using those 9-inch plates about the size of your span of your hand. And or just share a meal. There's portion sizes are so big, then sharing a meal is really helpful. And most likely, if you eat it slowly and you focus on those flavors, your brain gets that time to feel full and you feel satisfied even with those smaller portions. And your stomach can shrink. I don't know if people realize that, but their stomach can shrink. And it can also stretch. So if you're used to eating big portions, your stomach will stretch out and require bigger portions. But if you train it to eat smaller portions, then your stomach shrinks and you're feeling fuller with smaller portions. So let's go to another way to hack your meals. This one is so important too. I love utilizing this as a hack for hunger. Also for nutrition. Eating protein at every meal, and I usually try to include it with a snack. And I actually learned this hack when I was on the diabetic team at the hospital working as a dietitian there. And we would always pair a protein with the carbs. And that would slow down the release of sugar so that they didn't get the sugar spikes with our diabetics. So we started doing that in our weight management class that we had there. And it works so well to just put in a protein to pair it up with those carbohydrates. So it's the ultimate fill me up food. It is more satisfying than carbs or fats and keeps you feeling fuller longer. But it also gives you all these amino acids that helps you build up those lean muscles and build up your immune system, and is used for so many things, so many different functions in your body. So it's important to have all your essential aminos. If you're vegetarian, then you can still get it through different vegetarian-based foods, soy and stuff like that, nuts and beans. You can still get it that way. Just be a little bit more careful that you're getting all those essential amino acids in there. There's 8 of them, and that you need all those together to have those building blocks that are found in animal products. So make sure you put some protein in. Great little hack there. Here's another one. Eat several little mini meals. When we talked about like shrinking your stomach, this is such a good way to shrink your stomach up. I'm so excited about this one because I'm a small frequent meal eater myself. It helps me keep my blood sugar steady, helps me keep energy going through the day. And some people this doesn't work for. If it doesn't work for you and you're, 3 meals, regular meals a day works for you, that is great. I'm not saying there's a right and a wrong way. I'm just saying this is a way that sometimes you can hack it so that you're getting less calories and you're not feeling hungry. And there has been studies that show, from reputable, you want to look at the kind of studies, but that from like the American Heart Association, that people that eat smaller frequent meals are able to control their appetite better. And this was a recent one that just came out on the difference between smaller frequent meals versus intermittent fasting from the American Heart Association. And they found that the smaller frequent meals were more effective than the intermittent fasting, which hasn't been like a huge favorite of mine, the intermittent fasting, but we'll talk a little bit about that too, because that seems to be pretty popular. So divide your calories up and maybe take more of your calories in the morning when you're more active and go a little bit lighter in the evening. And so eat like we call it front loading, eat earlier in the day rather than end loading where it's all at the end. So that kind of takes us to another little hack. Swap your pasta for veggies, or it could be just your starch. This is another great one. One thing, in fact, I brought it over here. I don't know if you guys can see these little screens, but this is cauliflower rice. I love cauliflower rice. It's 2 net carbs. This is a little packet that you can just heat up really quickly and throw it on a plate, and it's great. It tastes good. I make stir fries with it all the time, and that saves me from having a lot of carbs. So excessive amount of carbs, your body typically does well with maybe like 40-45 grams of carbs per meal. It can break that down for energy. If you're not training for something or you're working on a ton, then a lot of times a lot of carbs at one time is hard for your body to just use for energy. And if it's not using it for energy, you know where it goes. It goes into storage, right? Your body's not using it. It's got to store it for later. Guess where it likes to store things? You know it. It stores it as fat. That's not where we want storage to go. We want to be able to use it. So if you're biking or you're doing a race or whatever, carb load, if you need to. But if you're trying to lose weight or you're just, trying to maintain, then maybe just swapping some of those carbs out and using them for your vegetables so you can get more fiber and stuff. So maybe just even like a cup of pasta, trade it for a cup of veggies, and you'll find that's a super healthy little hack. All right, this goes back to the intermittent fasting, you guys. I don't want to get on a soapbox because I know there's so many people that love this and it's helped them, and awesome if it is. My favorite is more of a 12-hour fast, just letting your digestive system rest from like 7 to 7 or 8 to 8 or whatever. Just give it a 12-hour, especially because a lot of our mindless eating happens in the evening. And it happens a lot of times because we're sitting in front of a TV or trying to unwind, and this is our time to like de-stress. And some of us like to use food for de-stressing. So if you can get away from food as a de-stressing or go into more mindful eating is very powerful. We like to do a lot of mindless where we're eating, while we're watching TV or at a movie or driving a car or something, where you just are eating and your body's not registered that it's eating. So you don't feel full. You're constantly feeling hungry. So snacking in front of a TV is a, for sure way to make sure that your diet's off course. But if you can kind of go more into mindfulness and just enjoy the flavor, texture of your food, and then maybe give your body or shut down that kitchen, maybe around, by 7 o'clock and open it back up at 7 o'clock the next morning. Get a good night's rest without having to digest all that food all night long. So anyway, those are my 10 favorite hacks. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, my email, JeannineGroll@gmail.com. And I look forward to sharing more of my passion for nutrition, fitness, and lifestyle to create your healthy and happier life. And have a wonderful and happy, healthy day.